All right. So these are the things that I have talked last time. People, just give me a confirmation. Is it clear? Do you got any interference or do you got any unclearness on the screen? Or is it okay?
It's okay, sir.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Great. All right. So yeah. So we were talking about this interface, and we know how the Excel is there. We talk about the ribbons, we talk about the formula bar, the address bar, the cells, and all these things. And we talk about this Excel sheet is made out of like it's kind of like a square rule book, right? And it has those cells has many different characteristics, right? Specifically, when it comes to the cells, it has its own address, and we are referring to those cells using those addresses, right? So we talked about those, and we talked about the worksheet, and I told you the Excel is made like a workbook, and it's going to present you the things as a workbook. So there are worksheets inside that book, so we can create many different sheets as we want, and even we can delete those things. And we talk about these column headers and the row headers, where the Excel indicates what is the column that we are in and what is the row that we are in. And we talk about, according to that, we can define what is the active cell that we are in. So that is how the address for a cell is being made. And as well as we talk about the scrolling part, right? The control keys, arrow keys, home key, and the end key, and the page up and page down things, and the cell addresses and the ranges as well, right? We discussed that there can be ranges, and ranges can be given the names, or like the particular range can be addressed by starting cell to the ending cell, right? And we talk about the ranges can be selected along a column, as well as along a row, and as well as a collection of row and columns, right? And we talk about how to name this range. So specifically, when it comes to the columns, if you select it like this, it's the very top column to the very bottom column, or you can give the other way around as well, right? So yeah, this cell range can be named as like B2 colon B5, or you can type it on the other way, B5 colon B2 as well, right? It doesn't matter. Same comes with here. If you select it along a row, it can be named as A3 colon C3, or in the other way, C3 colon A3, right? And when it comes to a selection like this, which includes a different number of columns and rows as well, so we can name it like we are starting from the leftmost, or like the left top cell, which is the B2, and goes to the right bottom cell, right, very right bottom cell, which is the C4. So you can say B2 colon C4, or the other way around, C4 colon B2, right? So likewise, you can provide the cell range according to your selection, right? And no, Tesandu, no, we didn't wrote anything yet, Tesandu, right? And now today we are going to talk about entering the data. And I remember I finished the session by showing you the 3 types of things that we can use inside the spreadsheet. So today we'll go from that point onwards, and we'll see what are the things that we can do, right? Okay, so as I told you, there are labels, or in other words, the text are there, right, which is made out of the characters. Maybe it is made out of entirely characters, or maybe characters and the special characters, as well as characters, numbers, and special characters can be there, right? So let me have the Excel sheet over here. Yeah, now in the Excel, let me magnify this to you so it will be easier for you to see. Yeah, so now as I told you, I can have the text values like ABC, right? Or I can say A1 to BC. It's the a mixture of values, so like the numbers and the characters, or else I can use the special characters like at, hash, kind of things, and plus numbers. So all these things, and it was automatically formatted as a email address because I got the at character, right? So all these things are there and is indicated as a left aligned one. So remember, all these formations are called as the labels. So labels are generally left aligned, right? And if we go for the numbers like 123, 12.57, right, 0.0456, right? All these things, these are called the values, are being right aligned, right? So these are the two major types that we have. The text or the labels are left aligned and the values are right aligned, right? So as your textbook says, it says the same way, right? So the left alignment and the right alignment. And as well as when it comes to the values, there are different kinds of formats. Today we are going to talk about those things, right? So the different kind of formats. As well as when it comes to the formulas, it goes in the very different way than the labels and the values, right? I have shown you some of the equations last time at the very end of the session. So I told you the equation or like the formula, generally we are going to write it by starting the equal sign. That is a must, right? Later you will get to know there is two different things called formulas and functions, right? And you will see the difference, right? So here I'm going to take a very simple formula, which I say equals 3 and the plus, I'm sorry, 3 plus 5. So that is the formula I have written here, equal 3 plus 5. Still, I'm not enter my, press my enter key. So now I'm going to press the enter key, see what happens. So it gives me 8 in the cell. And in the formula bar, right, you can see equals 3 plus C. I'm sorry, hold on. I have to change this. Right, I guess that's going to be okay. Yeah. Right. So as you can see in the formula bar, it's equals 3 plus 5, right? But the value comes as the 8, right? So when the value is 8 at the A3, the formula bar shows the formula as equals 3 plus 5, the equals 3 plus 5, right? So this is the active cell, which is the chosen cell. And as I showed you, it has the formula of this, right? So likewise, there are 3 types of things: labels, values, and the formulas, right? So today we are going to learn about what are these different types of formulas. I'm sorry, different types of values that we can use in this, like on an Excel sheet, right? So yeah, I'll come to this mathematical operators and all these things later, right? I'm not going to go through those first, right? First, I'm going to show you what are these different kinds of values are there to be done, right? Okay, so yeah, before that, I want you to talk about the fill handle as well. Fill handle again කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් ටිකක් ඔයගලන්ට පෙන්නලා තමයි last week නතර කරේ. Now fill handle is what it is, this thick green color box at the edge of the particular cell, right? So we can use this to copy some content in an easy manner, right? So this is called the fill handle. So fill handle can be used like this. Now, if I select this ABC and go to the fill handle, my mouse pointer is going to change into a black cross, right? As you can see, it goes there, it changes as a black cross. So on that particular place, if I click and drag it downwards, I can only drag either down to the column or to the left or to the right of a row, right? Column එකක නම් උඩ පහළට fill handle එක ගන්න පුළුවන්, row එකක නම් වමට දකුණට, right? We can't go diagonally, it won't go diagonally, right? Either horizontally or vertically it's happening. So I have selected only one cell, right? Then I'm going to just click and drag it. So if you got a label, the label is going to copy itself to the other cells, right? And let me take a number. So if I copy the number is going to paste to the other area, right? The same number, right? And if I use something like this, C001, I'm sorry, A001. So if I copy this, look what happens. See, it's different, right? So the character, the A is being copied on the in all the cells, and one is being incremented or increased during the column, or like down to the column, right? So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like one by one, it's going to increase, right? It doesn't matter in which number that you are going to start here. If you start from 7, then if you copy it from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it will continue, right? So that is the way the fill handle can be used with a one particular cell. And if you want to use the fill handle, like you can use the fill handle with a pattern as well, right? Now, if I put A here and B here, if I select both the cells and I use the fill handle, so you can see the AB is going to copy over here, AB, AB, likewise. But the story is different if I give some values. If I give 1 and 3 over here, so it's going to give me the odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 kind of things, right? So if you want to generate a multiplication table, you can do it easily over here, right? If you want to have the multiplication of 4, so 4 and 8 is given, so 4, 8 is chosen, then you can have it. So it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, likewise. You can generate the things, right? So it is the difference in between the values which you have been selected, then it will be copied accordingly, right? So, and again, some extra facilities, like if you have a date over here, Sunday, so if you copy that, it will automatically generate Sunday, Monday, Tuesday kind of things. As I remember, this works for the January as well. Yeah. So it's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Likewise, those are some patterns which exist in the real world. So it happens in the way it happens in the real world, right? So this is the what we call the benefits of the field handle, right? And yeah, I want to test something something popped into my mouth, into my mind just now, right? So I'll try to put 10 over here and 9 over here. If I select these two, and if I copy this to the topwards, see it is increase. And if I copy this to the downwards, it decrease. So remember, when a particular value is being copied, the pattern matters. If the bigger value is at the top and the lower value is the bottom, so downwards the values will be decreased. To upwards the value will be increased, right? And if we put 10 and 12 over here, so the values are increasing downwards, so it's going to copy 14, 16, 18, and if you are copying it upwards, it's going to reduce 6, 8, 4, right? And yeah, let's see what happens when things are going to over, right? So I'm having 4 over here and 3 over here, right? Let me guess, 3 over here and 4 over here. So I'm going to copy this to the top word. Look at that. So it goes from the positive, once the positive numbers are done, it goes for the negative numbers, right? So likewise, it's going to give us many different patterns inside the Excel sheet. Okay, people, this is clear. Everyone? Right, great. Okay. Right. So the next part is about the formatting, right? With this number group. Let's see what's going to happen. So I'm taking this out. Okay. So now I'm going to, there are several different types of formats, right? We need to go through these to see what happens with the formats, right? So if I type a particular value, now remember, this is regarding the values, not regarding the text in most of the cases, right? Regarding a value. So if I just put a value, just type a value, like let's say 123. Right, now you can see, once I click on here, this indicates general right over here. Right, so I'm going to copy this 123 value downwards. So this is general. And next I'm going to change this into a number. You can see some formattings are there inside. It's just indicate 123. See 123.00 number. General is the one where the value takes automatically. Now let's see what's happened when we apply the number. Now here I'm going to apply the number. See, it is automatically given 2 decimal points, 0 zeros. Now, in the same cell, I'm going to type 456. This is the only thing that I'm typing. Once I press enter, look closely, what has happened? So 2 decimal places automatically arrived at the place, right? So it's kind of a formatting that we are giving to these cells and saying if any number is typed, it's better you go with 2 decimal points with that number. So 456 did not have any decimal points, so it just put 0.00, right? So if we input something with the decimal points, let's say 34.67, and if I press enter, it's going to be there 34.67. So there is only 2 decimal points. Now I'm going to increase the number of decimal points. So 67, I'm going to say 89. So see what is happening. 34.67, I'm pressing the enter. Yeah, can you see? It becomes 34.68. So, but why it is become 34.68? And once you double click on that particular cell, you can see the entire number, the thing that you have typed. But the formatting is just arranging the particular cell into a 2 decimal point number, right? So now 89 is something larger than 50. So because of that, this 7 will become 8. Rounded kilo. So that is the way it happens, right? So that is the nature of the number. And the third one, the next one is the currency, right? Now in currency, you got a currency symbol with it, right? So if I click the currency, the same value 123 is going to change into a currency format. Let me check this. Okay, did you see what happens? So the symbol, it's coming from dollars when it comes to the currency, and just currency is just having what? The integral part and the fractional part as well. So you can change this currency symbol by visiting to this place in the number, right? So if I change it to a different type of symbol, it is going to appear over here, right? So let me change this into the euro and just see sometimes it may change a little more than we expected. Yeah. Right, and you can see, I'll show it to you clearly. Yeah, can you see this? Now earlier, if I change the definition, and when I'm changing that, like when I'm changing the currency symbol, it's going to turn into some other format. Just see, I'm going to press the euro. There you go. So what's happening there? Now there is another number format called accounting. Can you see it is being changed into the accounting? Earlier it was currency. Once we change this, so it is being changed into the format accounting. Now accounting means what? Accounting means the formatting which is just after the currency. So when you are doing the things in the accounting format, it is the same way that the currency is represented, but we have to distinguish what are the what are the ways that these things can be typed, right? Or like can be wrapped around. And in the accounting, the same thing happens as the currency. So I'll take accounting, right? And you can see dollar mark is there at the left corner, the way it's supposed to be with the accounting format, right? And if you want to change the symbol into our own particular symbol, like rupiah, rupees, change now. Right? So there is a way that we can do. Like where you have to go is like go to the more accounting formats. Now in there, you have this, you have all the formatting types over here: general, number, currency, accounting, date, time, percentage, those kind of things. So here we are like chosen with the currency, to apply the currency symbol. It's a fourth category in accounting. And here in the symbols, you will be given different kinds of symbols. Right, so here, if you go slowly, somewhere around here, there are a bunch of Arabic letters stays together. So once that Arabic letters is done, we have rupiah, singular, right? The singular, the currency symbol from single, right? So I press this and press OK. As you can see, rupiah is there. Now, beauty of these the beauty of this kind of formatting is like it will reduce us a lot of works. Like the may type karana tipuna. It will take some time to do that, right? If when the list is very big, it will be easier, or like it will be very teasing for things get done, right? So likewise, we can change the way it appears on the like on an Excel sheet with the several different formattings, right? So this is general, this is a number, and this is the currency. Right, then this is accounting. Right, and it's better you remember the difference between accounting and currency. In the currency, it has the currency symbol at very near to the value, and accounting, it has some space. And later, short date and long date. Now, when it comes to the short date and long date, let me show you something. Now, if I convert this into a short date, look closely what is going on here, right? Short date, I click. So this is the thing that it is being received, right? And this actually indicating a date which is far away back, right? So like 5/2 it's on 19s, right? So we don't need this kind of formats or like this kind of data in our Excel sheets. So we need to have the short date in a proper manner, right? How we are going to give it in a proper manner. So to identify how we are going to give it in a proper manner, we have to identify what's the format that this date is going to follow, right? So then here in the short date formatting, that particular format that we use to indicate the time or the date, right? First, it indicates the month. It's the month. Second component indicates the date. So first the computer indicates the month, then the date, then the year. Right now, if I type it like this, 8-20, and I'm pressing enter. So now you can see 8 months, and the 20 is the date, and 2021 is the year. So like it's August 2021. Right? So what was I printing? It's just the month and the date. So I have given 927, press enter. So can say 927 2021. So that is how the short date works. Right? So the long date, it is much more descriptive. Right? So if you apply the long date, so it's going to be like this. So I'll show you what happens. So long date has this kind of formatting. Right, so it says Wednesday, May 2, 1900. So this is not what we want. Let's give some values according to hours. So if I press 25 and enter, so it says it's February 5th, 2021. Right, so you have to focus on those cases because these things can be given easily with an MCQ question. Right, so the after the long date, just a moment, Lamai. I'll be right back. Yeah, Ravidu, I was just excused for a moment, Ravidu. That's why I was silent in the things. Right. And yeah, now that is the formattings as the short date and the long date, right? And there are more accounting formats as well: the time, percentage, fractions, scientific, and the text, right? Let us do that as well. And let me copy this downwards. And now I'm applying the time. Now, once the time is given, it says 12 a.m. It is because 123 cannot be recognized, right? Like the short date and long date were showing you the default date, which is in the 1900s, right? This shows you the 12 a.m. Now, if you want to show some particular time from here, like let's say you need to define 8:30 in the morning. So you are going to type 8:30. It will show you 8:30 a.m. Right? If you give like this 8-30, it's not going to show you anything. So remember, when the time is being used, it's something : some value. And even you can go for the seconds as well, right? So you can say 8:30, 35. Oh my God, no. Right, so that means our 8:30 minutes and 35 seconds. But if we want to take the PM word over here, the rare atahamara pennanna ඕනේ නම්. So for that, we have to refer this letter or refer this cell in 24-hour clock. So 8:30 means what? It's 20 something. 24 o'clock again, 8 means 20. So if you type 20 over here, now it is 20, 30, 35. Enter. I'm sorry. 20:30. See, you can see 8:30 p.m. Right? So likewise, you can change the time into AMs and the PMs accordingly with the value that you are providing. So this is regarding the time. Next one is about the percentage. So it takes 35.46. Doesn't make any sense, right? Like if I give 2 over here and press enter, it gives me 2%. If I take 10 over here, it will give me 10%. If I use 90 over here, it will give me 90%. Right? So, and if I give something larger than 100, it gives me 120%. So that is how the percentage works. Right? It will show you the value that you are given as a percentage. So that is for the integers, whole numbers. If you give like this, 35.5, still it shows you 35.5%. If I give it something like this, 0.25, once I press enter, hold on people, Yeah, 0.25. Yeah, it shows you as a percentage of 0.25. Right, so likewise, percentage can be changed. And here we are talking about a fraction. And once I apply the fraction, it doesn't work the way we want. And fractions, it is the bhāga saṅkhya කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. So if I press 0.5, this means half, right? See, half is it. If I put 0.25, 1/4 is there. So it is showing the things as a fraction. So if I say 5.75, so it says 5.75, right? So likewise, it can be formatted as a fraction, right? And this one is a scientific. Now, scientific means what? I think you know how to write a particular value in scientific format, right? So like if you really want to show the 123 in scientific method, it's going to be 1.23 into 10 to the power 2, right? So something like this is going to be, so this is the power symbol. So 1.23 into 10.2, 10 to the power 2, right? And can you see what happens over here? It has 1.23, it's a 123 that we are having it as the scientific value. So 1.23 is over here, and the letter E is there, and plus 0.2 is there. So letter E indicates the 10 base, plus 0.2 indicates the 2. Those are the plus values, right? And if you need to show this particular value, 0.00, if it should be something like this. If I make this as the scientific one, so it's going to be like this, 1.23 E minus 0.3. So it should be minus 0.3. The mere dashamasthane, it comes here, over here, and over here. Right? So that means 1.23, 10 to the power minus 3. Right? So that is what they are indicating. 1.23 E means 10 to the power minus 3 is the is to indicate the powers, or the power of the 10. Right? So likewise, we can use scientific. Right, so the very last one is about the text. Right, now what's happened with the text? I'll show you. And if this is the general format, if I type this particular phone number, and press enter, what was the difference? The 0 has gone. Right, so I need to type 071, and once I press enter, 0 is going. So if you want to change this, you can change it into a text format. Right, now if I put a 0 in front of this, it's not going to lose. Right, so that is what you call the text. All right, so those are the formatting techniques that we can use for a value in this particular according to this particular spreadsheet. People, is that clear? Everyone, please confirm. And if you got any question, you can ask. Is that clear, everyone? All right. Okay. Now, when we are going to use these things, then after make a king main number formats, then no, it will be a little bit harder. Right? In practically, like if we are maintaining something like, let's say, we are maintaining the budget, right? So one will having the description, and the other will have the amount, right? So I can say food, let's say 1,000 rupees. So clothes, 2,000 rupees. For traveling, 3,000 rupees. Likewise. So if I need to format this particular thing in the very same format like this, there are two things that you can do. You can select the entire thing and go for there and choose a currency or accounting format. It will change. And if you still want whatever the things that is typed in this column should get formatted into this particular format, all you have to do is just select some empty columns and just change its format to currency, right? So if you type something over here, 4,500, it automatically appears, right? If you take 7,000, it automatically appears, right? So likewise, you can use the formattings accordingly to your requirement. Okay, so those are the things which need the formattings part, right? Then we are going to talk about these operators. And before we move to the operators, again, anyone, if you got any problems, if you got any things to be solved regarding the things we have discussed so far. Any question, if you don't remember, still you can ask, right? If you are struggling with that point, you can ask. Okay, brilliant. Right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the formulas. Now, when it comes to the formulas, you have to be very careful, because from here after, when you are using a formula, you are going to work with these operators. And there are many different operators over here, but we are focusing on these 5 operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponentiation, right? Did I pronounce it incorrectly? Exponentiation. Yeah, the power, it says, right? So now these operators is used to do the mathematical operations, that is clear. And again, as you learn in the mathematics, you got this BODMAS, which illustrate what is the precedence of the operators. For like when you are given a particular value, what should be calculated first will be determined by the BODMAS. So likewise, here they have a particular operator precedence as well. So this is the operator precedence. It is something very same to the BODMAS. So it's the brackets first, then the power or the exponentation. I'm pronouncing it in an incorrect way as it says exponentiation. Yes, exponentiation. And third, it's the multiplication and division. Fourth, it is addition and subtraction. Right, so this says the precedence is reduced from top to bottom. So the brackets will be having highest priority. So it should be learned first. Right, here you have given some of the operations to show how these things happens. Right, so it's very simple. We know like plus is there to add, minus is there to subtract, and multiply it's the star, division is the backslash, and power is like this simple symbol, right? Like a spike, right? So now the precedence will matter when there are like more operators inside your formula, right? So these kind of things. So it has equals 2 plus 4 into 3. So without considering the way the operators are handling, if you just do it blindly, it's going to give you a wrong answer, because someone may do this like 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 into 3 is 18, so which is wrong. So 4 into 3 happens first, then the 2 is being added, so the 14 is the result. And here the same one, but surrounding 2 plus 4 has its brackets. So 2 plus 4 should happen first, then multiplication by 3 will happen next. Right, so if it finds this, or like on focus on this, 4 into 3, like 2 to the power, right? So 3 2 to the power will happen first, as it shows 9. Then 4 into 9, the 36 will be illustrated. Yes, Susu. Right. So likewise, there are different kinds of operations and things are here. And what happens when you, Suhara, put a second, just a second. Sorry, people, my little one fell down. Right. So now, in the third table, it shows what happens when the similar type of operators are there. All right. So here it has 5 plus 2 into 3, the power of 2, divided by 6 minus 3. So as you can see, there are operators like plus, multiplication, the power, exponentiation, and the division and the subtraction, right? So first, the exponentiation will happen, right? So power will happen. So 3 to the power 2, that means 9 will happen. Then after, you got a multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction. So multiplication and division gives the priority, right? So multiplication, since multiplication and division is on the same place, first they take care of the leftmost one. That means the multiplication. Then the division. Then that means 2 into 9 is 18. 18 divided by 6, it is 3. Now you got addition and subtraction. They give the priority for the addition. So 5 plus 3, which means 8. 8 minus 3, which gives you 5. Right? So you should understand, or you should have the idea, when the same kind of operators or the same level operators are there, you are going to give the priority for the leftmost one, or you are going to solve it from left to right if the operators are in the same level. If they differs from each other, so like the levels are differ, so the top level, layer one will be executed, right? So anyway, if you are writing a formula or a simple calculation using the operators in the Excel, we should done by what? We should start it with an equal sign. That is the golden rule, right? So equal, we can say 3 plus 2 multiplied by 4. So the answer is going to be 2 into 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So once I press enter, it gives me the value 11. So what you have to remember is, when you are writing it, start it from the equal sign, then the rest of the things using the operators. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, people, is that clear? Right, okay. Right, so before we move forward, I want you to send the answers. Not the entire thing. So let's do it like this. Yeah, the first one and the last one from each column. So that means first, 5th, 6th, 10th, 11th, and 15th. Right? Yeah, quickly, people. That means the very first row and the very last row. 1, 6, 11, and 5, 10, 15. Right? Do the calculation and send me the answers in the chat quickly. I do it like by your own, right? Excel sheet take just do it by hand and just send me the answers. All right. Tesandu, first one. Oh no, Tesandu, first one you are getting a problem. That is not the answer. Operators tika බලන්න ඕනේ. Division එකයි subtraction එකයි තියෙන්නේ. So division happens first. Or sigma, yeah, that's the correct answer for the first one. Fifth one. Ositma, the fifth one, I doubt so. Go through again. Yeah, the people who have sent me the first answer is correct. So for Pehara, just go through the first one again. There is a problem. Udamya's one is correct. Senya is correct. Tesandu is correct. Sairi is correct. Yeah, Sairi, fifth answer is also correct. Ositmi, yes, that should be the answer. Yeah. Senya, yes, fifth answer is correct. Udamya, yes, that's correct. Pehara, yes, first and the fifth ones are correct. Tesandu, second one is correct. Good. Second means the fifth, I guess. Sairi, is it that? Let me see. I got a different answer. And Dinelka, yes. Okay. Yes, first one is correct, Dinelka. Fifth is correct as well. Sixth, yeah, that's correct. Sixth is correct, yes. So for six, it's 44. 10th, yeah, it is correct. 10th is correct, Pehara. And the sixth one is also. And Dinelka, your 10th is correct. And the 11th, Sairi, you have to rework the 10th. That is not the answer for the 10th. Ositma, yes, that's the answer for the 10th. Osanda, answer for 6 is correct. Or answer for the 5th is correct. Tesandu, 6th answer is correct. Udamya, 10th answer is correct. Senya, 6th answer is correct. Osanda, 6th answer is correct. And the 10th one is also correct, Osanda. 11th, 11th you have to go through. Osanta, you have to go through the 11th. Senya, 10th answer is correct. Sairi, 10th answer is correct. Yeah, Udamya, 11th answer is correct. Dinelka, yes, 11th answer is correct. Tesandu, 10th answer is correct. Ositma, Ositma, you have to work the 11th one again. It is not the correct answer. And Dinelka, you have to work on the 11th one again. I think that's not the answer for the 11th. Let me check. Okay. Yes. 1, 4. No, that is not the answer for the 11th. 15th one is correct. But work the 11th, Dinelka. Ositma, you have to work on the 11th. Sulak, the first one is correct. Second one is correct. Third one is correct. 10th one is correct. 15th one is correct. 11th, you haven't sent me the answer, Sulak, the 11th. And Pehara, the 11th one is correct. That is the answer. Yes. Dinelka, yeah, that should be the answer, Buddha. Yes, that should be the answer. And Osanda, yes, 11th answer is correct. Sayuri, yes, 11th answer is correct. Udamya, 15th, no, that is not the answer. You have to rework it. Careful, 15th one is a little bit tricky. Tesandu 15th, nah. I Parisambaran. Yes, Udame, that is the answer. Pehara, that is the answer for the 15th. Yes. Sulakdi, no do. You have to rework the 11th. That is not the answer. And Tesandu, yeah, that's the answer for the 15th, correct? Yes, Sayuri, that is the answer. Right. So let's quickly check the answers. Right. I'm going to copy this and paste into the Excel. Right. So let me do that. Okay. Here we go. Oh, some characters are changing. It is first one, it's the 4th and 5th. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the plus over here. Yeah, 5th one, this is the answer. And 6th. This is the answer. The 10th. This is the answer for the 10th and 11th. This is the answer for the 11th and 15. And 15th. Yeah, this is the answer. Right. So the question numbers are like 1, 5, 6, 10, 11, 15. Yeah, so these are the answers. These are the question numbers and these are the answers. Right, good. Many of you have came up with the answers, right? So only little mistakes were there. So just, yeah, read it through and keep those things in your mind, because those things, those simple equations will be there in your MCQs, right? So you have to know what to be done. All right, so I'm moving forward. Now, here we are going to talk about the formulas. Now, it says formulas with cell addresses and operators, right? Now, you can see something like this. I'll describe you what this is from the Excel sheet. Now, people, now, when we are writing, like so far we know, we can write something like equals 3 plus 5, which will give us 8. So if you want to build a calculator kind of things, right? Or like if you want to if you want to have the sum of two numbers, you have to, like, according to the method we know, we have to type it or type the things always again and again, right? Now, to find the addition of 3 and 5, we type it as equals 3 plus 5. To find the addition of 10 and 20, we have to type equals 10 plus 20. So which will give you 30. Right, now, this is kind of a teasing thing, right? Now, if we want to have, like, we can do this in a less teasing manner if we use the cell addresses to write a particular formula. Now look at this. I'm going to put the 10 over here, and I'm going to put 30 over here, right? And in this cell, I'm going to write equals. I'm going to refer this cell's address, which is A1. A1. So you can see it is being highlighted. Then I say plus B1. So you can see it is being highlighted in a different color, right? So here in the C1, you have equals A1 plus B1. So once I press enter, it gives you a 40. So what is the formula inside this? It is equals A1 plus B1. Now the beauty of this is, if I change the value over here, if I make it 20, I haven't pressed enter yet. Once I press enter, you can see the C1, the answer is going to change into 50, because 20 plus 30 is 50, no? See, so now you can, like, add any two numbers without writing the formula again and again, right? If you want to add 3 and 5, so it's 8. If you want to have 24 plus 56, it's 80. If you want 78 and 97, is 175, right? So it will be very much easy for you to use cell addresses. So it is useful when we are doing that, because if we concrete the values, අපි හරියටම නේද concrete value එක කියලා කියන්නේ හරියටම ඒ අගය ලිව්වොත් we can't do any changes, right? Then අපිට we can heavily use this kind of things. In your book, they have given some example as well. See, now here the length of the rectangle, the breadth of the rectangle. So perimeter is here, area is here, right? So perimeter can be find out by this thing, area can be find out by this thing, right? So when you are having this kind of formula, So it doesn't matter how long, or like what is the length of the rectangle and what is the width of the rectangle. So for any length and width, the perimeter and the area will be calculated, right? And these kind of things, right? Price of a book, price of a pencil, and price of book and pencil, right? The difference between book and pencil, price of 4 books, price of 4 books and 2 pencils. Now, how they have done that? So price of a book is given here in B1, cell B1. Price of a pencil is given here in cell B2. So the rest of the things has been calculated using that B1 and B2. So price of a book and pencil. So we have it like equals B1 plus B2. So these two will be added together. So difference between price of a book and pencil. So the bigger value, the smaller value is reduced from the bigger value. So B1 minus B2 equals B1 minus B2. Price of 4 books. Actually, here the equation is incorrect. Price of 4 books should be equal B1 into 4. And price of 4 books and 2 pencils, it says equals B1 into 4 plus B2 into 4. So B1 into 4 will be calculated, B2 into 2 will be calculated, then add the things up, right? So when we are referring using the cell addresses, right, it gives us a very big advantage of creating things in many different ways, right? And what you have to remember is when you are using the cell addresses, you have to always start it from an equal sign, like the way we start a formula. Then you have to say what are the cells that we need to refer and what should happen in between those cells. If it is an addition, the addition should happen. If it is a subtraction, subtraction should happen. And I'll tell you what has happened over here, right? Now, yeah, people, before that, is this clear how we are going to refer the cell addresses? Right now, ඕගලන්ට මේක හිත හිතා කරන්න බෑ. Some scenario will be given to you. Then according to that, you can build up the things. We are going to practice that, right? But first of all, I need to know, like, are you clear with the cell referencing part? Cell references are going to මේ වැඩේ කරන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක. Clear? Is that clear? Right. Brilliant. Okay. So now when you are doing this, when you are having a formula, like now I'm going to write the formula here to take the addition of these two things. And I can do it like this as well. Equals, once I put the equal sign, if I go and click on somewhere, on some cell, that address will be taken into this formula. Look at this. Now I put equal sign and I'm moving my mouse to the A1 and press A1. See, A1 is taken. And I'm typing the plus, operator should be typed. And then I need to add with B1. So I'm going to go to the B1 and click on it. I'm going to the B1. Now I'm clicking on it. See, so the B1 is selected. It is given. So then I can press enter to complete my formula. Right, so you can do it on that manner as well. Right, so according to that, we can find those type of things, or like we can use it in practical situations, what we are planning to do, right? And yeah, so if I tell you something like this, if I take some, let me take something very quickly. right? So I'll take some subject, maths, science, and ICT, right? I'll give some random numbers. Right, and I'm adding another column here and say the student name. And I take someone, my favorite student, Nimal, my next favorite one, and Sita, my next favorite one. Right. Now I'll put this into a table quickly, and I'll making things into the this thing, and I need totals over here. Total marks. Subtotal, let's say. And here I need the grand total. I'm going to merge this. Grand total. Right, so I need subtotals over here and the grand total over here. Right. Now, how I'm going to take subtotal for someone of all three subjects using cell references? Okay, type me the answer, people. What should I type? Equal what it should be. I need the total of the someone's marks. I need to take the total of the summons. Yes, Behara. Yes, Udamya. Yes, Dinelka, Sairi. Very good. Very good. So it should be B2 plus C2 plus D2. And pressing enter will give me the addition of these three. Now, people, if I want to take the total of the Nimal, it's going to be B3 plus C3 plus D3, right? Equals B3 plus C3 plus D3. Yes, Tesandu. I'm not going to type it. Here I'm going to use my fill handle. My fill handle is going to help me, and it's going to help me in a very nice way. Now here, this has equal B2 plus C2 plus D2. If I select this and click my fill handle and drag it down, it's going to give you 236 over here. If I double click and see what's the formula, it says equals B3 plus C3 plus D3, right? It's a very nice thing. Previously, we had B2, C2, and D2. Once we copy it over here, it's B3 plus C3 plus D3, right? So this is called relatively copying, right? Relatively copying, right? I'm going to talk about that in details by next week, right? So to take the third one, I can do the same. Click and drag. So this will give you B4 plus C4 plus D4. And to take the grand total, what should be the formula? Yes, people? Yes, Dinelka. Very good. It's equals E3 plus E2 plus E3 plus E4. Equal sign should be there, right? So equals E2 plus E3 plus E4. And when I'm plus enter, I'm taking the grand total of these three. Right, so likewise, using the cell references, we can build up the formulas, right? And by next week, we are going to talk about how these cell references can be used in many different ways, right? And again, we are going to talk about how the cell references can be used inside a component called functions, right? So we'll talk about it, and then we are going to talk about the relatively copying part and independently copying part, right? So there are some, most probably like 1 week or within 2 weeks, we will be able to done with the Excel, right? So I'll see you next week for the same time to talk about the Excel much more, right? Today I'm going to end from this point, right? So thank you very much to stay with me, right? And have a nice weekend, people, and stay safe. I'm going to meet you next week for the very same time. Thank you very much, people. Have a very nice evening and a nice weekend, right? Right, okay. Thank you, Dinaka. Thank you, Behara. Right, thank you, Damya. Thank you very much. Right, Osanda, thank you very much.